Kevin Owens made some headlines over the weekend by putting himself through a table, and you may ask why. Why did this man put himself through a table? Well, it was done as a punishment for the mean things he said about Texas during his feud with Stone Cold Steve Austin last year, building up to WrestleMania 38. Let's roll the footage.
I spent quite a bit of time saying certain things about Texas, the people that lived in Texas, and of course, it was all in an attempt to lure one Stone Cold Steve Austin back into the ring for one more match, which I succeeded at, so you should all be thanking me, okay? But, since I said a lot of bad things, and I'd love to make it up to you all. All right.
I think after that, Texas accepts his apology and Kevin's is good with the people of Texas. A few days ago, a report came out stating that Cody Rhodes had some potential meetings with Hollywood for some movie roles, specifically for the movie Zelda and the upcoming Mortal Kombat film. This worried some of us into thinking that he might be leaving WWE for some time to film, maybe a couple months or more if needed. But that doesn't seem to be the case according to Fightful Select. They reported and said, in spite of the Hollywood news, Cody Rhodes doesn't plan on being a part-timer in wrestling, and any projects he does would go around his WWE schedule. This is good news for the WWE and all of us fans. With Roman Reigns on his part-time schedule, WWE could not afford to lose their second biggest star for an extended period of time. Cody Rhodes is here to stay for WWE. He is committed to this show and this company, and that is probably why the company is committed to him and will most likely have a main event WrestleMania or SummerSlam with him becoming the undisputed champion. He is all in on WWE, and WWE is all in on Cody Rhodes. I honestly think that wrestling is Cody's purpose in this world. He loves doing it, and he wants to do nothing more than entertain us fans in a squared circle, and you love to see it. He can still land those roles, but it's looking like he will miss some episodes of Raw and possibly some house shows. So at the end of the day, that is better than months of him being absent, but it might hurt WWE live event sales though, because according to Wrestle Features, WWE's live event this past Saturday in New Mexico was a legit sellout. The live event was main events by Cody Rhodes, Riddle, and Kevin Owens versus Imperium. And as you can see, Cody is a true star, and it's clear that the fans will miss him for those live events, but we will understand at the same time. The good news is that he isn't going anywhere anytime soon. Another person who's shown some recent frustrations with WWE and has been rumored to leave WWE is Seth freaking Rollins. As we know from weeks ago, his segment was cut on Raw and he was upset about it. In fact, former WWE writer Freddie Prinze Jr. revealed that he was there in the crowd and said that it looked like he was legitimately pissed off and walked away from WWE in that segment. He said they played a commercial during his intro and then we could kind of hear him having a freak out on some production people. He was going, "Why is there a commercial?" You couldn't really hear what he was saying. You could just tell he was mad. Freddie continued and said, "I think he was pissed when he went backstage at whoever did that, but if I was him, I would have been just as angry, and I thought the way he dealt with it was so hardcore and awesome. Instead of cutting a promo, he just throws the mic out of the ring and walked out of the freaking show." This obviously caused a lot of concern over his status with WWE. However, you can put that to rest as well. Like Cody Rhodes, Seth Rollins is not going anywhere. Worked Wrestling reported, squashing any rumors, Seth Rollins currently has no plans to leave WWE. One of the driving points is the amount of time he gets to spend with his family while on the road, and he isn't looking to change that. So, like I said, we can put this rumor to rest. Seth Rollins will not be leaving WWE. He's even been booked for Raw tonight in a match against The Miz. Seth Rollins even tweeted about it and seems excited. We have an update on Drew McIntyre and his status with WWE after recent reports of him not re-signing with WWE and his Twitter account being blacked out. According to Dave Meltzer, we should not expect to see him for a few more weeks. He said, "He's not going to be back on TV next week. He's not going to be back for a couple more weeks. They announced the Madison Square Garden show, which is in July, and he was not announced for that show either. But that's not necessarily... Look, I was told it's a couple more weeks, and we'll see what happens from there. There there is an injury and there is a contract issue. Although the contract issue, his contract doesn't come due for many months, but as far as signing a new deal, there's nothing new. They're still far apart. Clearly, this Drew McIntyre and WWE situation is not getting better, and it's something that WWE does not want to deal with. Right now, it's probably best to let him rest and heal up from any injuries, and throughout that time, he can also clear his head and mind, and that's probably going to be good for fans too, because it'll make us miss him, and sometimes you just need a little space and time. It sounds like a whole ass breakup with your girl, but that's where we're at. We just gotta wait and see what unfolds with this situation. For those that are following the CM Punk story and his AEW return, it's more than just a report and rumor at this point. At this point, it's a matter of when and not if. Andrew Zarian provided an update on the news. He provided details on what Warner Bros. Discovery has been told from All Elite Wrestling, and according to him, he knows for a fact that Warner has been told he is coming back, and they're very much aware of the situation. Like I said, at this point, you can surely expect to see CM Punk in AEW very soon, and it's looking like his first feud will be against Chris Jericho. I think it should be the Elite, but they reportedly don't want to work with him right now. Regardless, I still think that Jericho and Punk can cook up something good for the fans, so that should be fun. And finally, the last story, Triple H was forced to change plans, more specifically, plans with the women tag team titles. As we saw on Raw last week, Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez won the tag titles after defeating Becky Lynch and Trish Stratus, but that wasn't the original plan. Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler were set to become the next pair of champions. However, those plans fell through because Ronda Rousey is still dealing with an injury. On the Wrestling Observer Radio, Dave Meltzer said, "Ronda's still not cleared, so they can't do the Ronda and Shayna Baszler thing, which was the plan." That explains why Morgan and Raquel became the new champions. Corey Graves might be right about those titles. He actually critiqued the WWE's booking of the women's tag belts, saying, "I'm probably going to catch hell for this, but it's never really caught fire. It's never been a strong division. It's sort of been an amalgam of thrown together tag teams. I'm gonna team with this person tonight, and we have a tag title match we didn't win. Okay, time to get a new partner." It's always been very transient and constantly in flux. I'm talking the entire existence of those titles since the very beginning. I do think that Sasha and Bayley were good champions, especially during the pandemic, but for the most part, he's kind of right. The WWE has had bad booking for that division, and something has got to change. We thought when Triple H would take over that things would change, but that's clearly not been the case. They need to start booking things better for those women's tag belts, or it's time to just retire those titles. And honestly, you can say the same thing about the women's division, not just the women's tag team division. I feel like the women in general have been booked pretty shitty in WWE for the last few years, maybe more. Like, yeah, they'll have some big main events, but overall throughout the year, it just seems like WWE doesn't care. What do you guys think? Do you agree with Corey Graves and the entire women's division? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope y'all enjoyed. If you did, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more, and I'll see you all in the next video.